Hello everyone. 안녕하세요 여러분. Ooh, hello. Sorry. How are you today? 잘 지냈어요 여러분? 음, 안녕하세요. Hello. Hello everyone. Um, it's another day and it's also the last um I could say last weekday. Hi! 안녕하세요, 친구야. 만나서 반가워요. Hey, welcome. Wait for a while. I'm going to get something. Ta-da! 네, 안녕하세요. 잘 지냈어요? 잘 지내. 와. 음, 그래요? 맛있어. 밥 먹었어요, 친구야. Sun, how do I say your name? Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that I pronounce it properly. Yeah, welcome. Today I am going to share um, how I started my journey in learning the Korean language. And, 그랬구나. 와, 좋아요. 음, 밥 먹고 뭐 해요? What did you eat for dinner? And yes, today I am going to share with you my journey in learning the Korean language and how I learned and how I started learning the Korean language. So I'm also going to give you some of the tips that I was able um, to use in learning the language. And I'm sure there's a lot of 친구들 around the world that wanted to learn the Korean language but don't know how to start, don't know how to do it, or doesn't have anyone that supports you in your passion in learning the Korean language. I can feel you because when I started learning the language, no one supported me too. So it's because my family doesn't know about Korean language and they're not used to, Korean dramas or something. Yes. Oh, 언니 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. I hope you're doing fine. And at last, it's Friday. So I'm actually waiting for my Korean class at 7 o'clock. So I actually tried to, um, connect with you guys. Yeah, it's been a long time since the last video that I had. So I would like to ask, how are you, my beloved followers and yeah, friends around the world? Yes, and as I've said, when I started learning the Korean language, no one supported me, and I don't really know how to start. I don't know when to start. I don't know where to start. But I've only known some of the Korean words through K dramas. Yes, K dramas. So at first, when I heard about Korea, one thing that really attract me, or like one thing that comes into my mind, is Korean drama. But I've known 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, 와, 대박, like that. But the funny thing is that I've never, I've never even understand why it is called, why is it read like that? Why is it like, why is it called 안녕하세요? Why is it 감사합니다 like that? Oh, 언니 안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. 라 유튜브 라이브 있어요. 네. Yeah. 네, 맞아요, 맞아요. But the funny thing is that I'm actually learning through the romanization. So that's the funny and the weird thing that I did before. I don't know about the Korean characters or the Hangul, so I actually um read the romanization. Like 안녕하세요, like the, it's kind of like a local dialect, but it's a Korean romanized version of the Hangul characters. So that's why, 안녕하세요, 대박, like that. Wow, like that. But it is actually until last year that I learned about the Korean language, like how it started and what will I do to learn the language, and what are the sources or the resources that I could use, or what are the things that I could do to retain all the vocabularies and everything. So I remember the first thing that really helped me in learning the Hangul is Cherish Unni. Yeah, I actually saw her YouTube video, and I actually tried to sit down for a while. Yeah, the only the thing that really, like, one of the things that is like uh the one enemy that you need to fight when you learn the Korean language is your time. Yes. So what I did that time, I actually tried to sit down for a moment just to learn the Hangul. Yeah, it was kind of like funny experience because I just tried, and the way she actually explained it helped me understand it, because she was also a Pinoy. She's a Filipina, but she's already in Korea. She's living in Korea, and she has a lot of, K dramas. She's been to a lot of K dramas as supporting actress. I've seen her um, romantic Doctor Romantic Part 2. Yes, with Lee Song Kyung and An something like the boy. They're also one of my favorites. And yes, I tried to sit down for a while just to be able to learn the Hangul because I actually asked myself because every time when I watch Korean dramas or even talk with others, I always say, yeah, romantic doctor, true. I always say 안녕하세요, like always. 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, like that. But I don't know how to make like sentences or something like 사랑해. Yeah, that's one of the most something like some of the words. But I've never truly understand where the Hangul came from. Why is it there's kind of like characters or something? And then that time she explained that there's actually King Sejong was the founder, was the one who founded the Korean writing system, which is Hangul. And there's a lot of things that happened before it became the official writing system of the Korean. Um, there's a name before that, but I don't want to be mistaken. It's kind of like Hanjong, something like that. Before it became Hangul. Yeah, so it became Hangul, and then it became the official Korean writing system. Yeah, Kang Sejong the Great, and I am also currently a student of Korean Kang Sejong Institute for the Korean language. Yeah, so while waiting for my class at 7, I tried to, um, share how did I came up to this level. But I would say that my level is still beginner, but I don't know how beginner it is. But I would really say that it's beginner. I can't still cannot understand like a lot of sentences because they're really fast in talking. Um, my 아니야. 우리 선생님, at 7, 잠시만요. 다섯, 여섯, 일곱. 일곱 시. 일곱 시. 음, we're gonna need to read and talk in Korean, like all. So I would say, 선생님, 한국어로, 음, what's the word? I forgot. But yeah, I would say, I'm not really good at Korean yet, so I would just like to ask if you could speak a little slower, like that. But after learning that, I sat down that for a moment while watching the YouTube video of Cheers on Me. And then I learned the history about Hangul, about the mouth, something because the sound is kind of like the shape of the mouth, especially for the consonant, like the giok. So it's like the shape of the mouth is how you're going to say it. So I've learned the 10 vowels and the 14 consonants that includes ya, yo, yo, like 안녕하세요, yo, you, e. So that's the 10 basic vowels because there are also combined vowels like the ye, the we, the wo. Yeah, they're combined vowels. And the consonants includes the giok, the k, 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 giok, nien, like that. So there's a lot of things. So one thing, if you really wanted to learn the Korean language, 친구들, you need to start with the basic. You need to learn Hangul. Hangul is the Korean alphabet. Yes, you need to learn Hangul. Because after learning Hangul, everything will come smoothly. And even if you don't really understand the word, you can already read the word. And I could say, based on my experience, but it doesn't mean that, um, yeah, Hunmin Jong-un. Yeah, true. That's right. 맞아요, 언니, 맞아요. Yeah. It's actually in my mind, but I don't really cannot express it because it might be wrong. So, yeah, Hunmin Jong-un. Yeah, true. And then, based on my experience, when you learn the Hangul already, it's really easy to read. So the most, I mean, the difficult part is speaking, because the pronunciation are like, there are some homonyms, and the way they pronounce the words varies. Like there are changes, assimilations, as they say. So like for example, the giok. So it's like g. If it's in the beginning, like giok, so giok, g, it's like between g and k, like giok. But if it's in the final consonant, and dami. Um, there's a lot of things to learn. When it became a final consonant or the batchim, it will change. So giok. So if it's the batchim, it will k. But when you actually read the 감사합니다, kam is actually an initial sound, but it's kind of like K. So that's why I don't really. This is also one thing that I've learned from the tutorials that I've learned, and even from the classes that I've attended. Do not rely on romanization, and as much as possible, do not use romanization, because romanization will make it more confusing. Try to practice yourself, try to practice your eyes looking at the Hangul characters. Yes, it's very easy. Like I thought I'm not gonna learn it anymore. I actually I actually told myself before, oh, how should I study Korean? How should I learn? How could I learn it? I would always say 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, 사랑해요, like that. But you know what? It's really good if you can start with the basic. Because me, I wasn't able to start with the basic. I was able to start with the romanization in Korean dramas. So it's kind of hard to adopt yourself when you're going to rely mostly on romanization. Because romanization is kind of like not really, not, I would really say that it's not really the accurate one, because the sound and the spelling of the Hangul varies. There's a lot of variations. So you just need to remember the rules and the assimilation thing or something. So reading is very easy actually. I could read Korean. I could read Korean, but the understanding will come next. I could read like anything, even Korean books or webtoons, I could read it. But the understanding is not really. I could not understand all of it yet. I need to check a lot of vocabularies and verb conjugations and everything. Yeah, but it's really good to start with the basic. And then after with the basic, you will know the basic vowel, the basic consonants. Then you can know the batchim, the double consonants, the combined combined vowels, and then that's the thing. The next would be the conjugations. And it's also very important to know the dictionary form of each verb and adjective. Or yeah, like for example, the verb uh 잠시만요. Uh, ah, the verb is mokta. Mokta, like eat, to eat. So mokta is actually the dictionary word, but then when you're going to make it into sentences, you can conjugate it. It's either in the present, in the past, or in the future. So for example, 저는 어, 김치를 먹고 싶은데 하지만 김치가 없어요. So I want to eat kimchi, but I don't have kimchi. So you notice 먹고 싶은. So it's actually different because I use the 싶다 or like want. So you will learn that a lot when you're going to level up. And the way I learn it is it's really 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 good because one thing also, take the chances, take the opportunity to um to join free Korean classes. Yes. I remember I got my first ever Korean classes from UP Arirang. That's free for 10 sessions. That was February until March, and it actually helped me understand more. Like, why is it there's some kind of like 먹고 구해요, like that. So it's kind of like past, present, and something. And then I've got also free online classes in Coursera. There's a lot. I've actually tried the Songyongpan University. Um, Also, Korean Cultural Center of the Philippines. They also offer Korean classes. So you just click for their SNS accounts for updates. Yes, that's one thing that you can do to learn. Because sometimes when you are actually self studying, just like what I did after learning on YouTube, I stopped because I don't like self studying. I can't focus and I can't really understand if no one would actually explain it to me. Yeah, well, at least you can actually do some videos, but it's different when you can interact and you can also practice your speaking. Yeah, one of the difficult things to learn the Korean language is the speaking. 말하기 연습. Yeah, the speaking practice. Like for example, 저는 리자예요. And sometimes when you are overwhelmed to speak the Korean language, you can actually speak it the wrong way. Yeah. Oh, 선생님 안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. Hi, Teach. Welcome. Welcome. And I guess I'm gonna say goodbye for now, 친구들, because it's 10 minutes to go and I'll have my 한국어 수업. So I will have nosebleed this again. So I hope that I'll be able to understand because 선생님, 한국어 말하기. 그래서 I have a little. Oh, thank you, Teach. I didn't open classes already because I have a class like 7 to 9 for Korean. So yeah. Thank you. Good luck with your class. God bless. 네. 여러분, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And I hope that I could have another like this next time. I don't know when, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for thank you for the Annie. Thank you for dropping by, and I hope that you will have a wonderful Friday. 감사합니다, 여러분. 안녕히 가세요. Thank you.